I grew up in a house where a camera was always around. It didn't matter what it was. My dad filmed everything.
Here's me today.
And Michael Darrick knocked his front tooth out. Show me your tooth.
Even when we didn't want the camera around.
Spread your bed up. Put your hangers up.
He'd just say that we'd be happy he did it one day. And when he passed away, I fell in love with filming. When I got to high school, I signed up for broadcast journalism.
What I loved so much about it is that we were getting to experience the process of filmmaking along with him. Like, he didn't necessarily know what the film was about until it became what it was about. And so we get to kind of watch the different angles that it could have taken and did for a minute, but then morphed and transformed into something else. And it was just so fascinating all the way along. And, you know, what an amazing, like, opportunity to be able to have all of this footage, this tons and tons of footage, like over, I think he said over 10,000 hours, which, gosh, must have been a nightmare to come through. But you get to capture all of these big and little moments along the way, and you get to track the growth that you made and the life events that happen, and especially how fortunate that he was able to capture so much footage of his mom and the special moments that they shared and the conversations that were not so easy to have. And he kept filming right up until the end and even past that. And it just became this beautiful tribute, years and years long tribute to the love of filmmaking and pursuing your desires and your passions relentlessly. There was just so much growth, I think, especially that moment where he decided to move out in order to choose the path that was Lexi. And that was a really big and brave and scary moment for him, but like character building and all of these things. And he should be so, so proud of what he's created and the things that he's accomplished. I just felt like we got to go on this journey with him.
I think the main subject and his personality are quite personable and pleasant, which makes you want to know more and be invested in his journey. I think that the concept is very interesting, and it's definitely not a boring story. Again, I think it's more so because of the subject. His enthusiasm is very infectious, and the audience is rooting for him.
I love that his dad was his inspiration to get into film, and how he had said that, because he filmed everything, he was like, well, one day you'll be happy that I did it. And I just love that you put that in there, and I think you put it in toward the end as well. I just love that you had such perseverance and courage to take a camera with you basically 24/7 over many years. I mean, many, many years. I thought that was very inspiring in itself. And not only did you just follow your instincts and go with it, it actually produced quite an inspirational documentary. I think for me, this is actually about the dynamics of your relationship to your family, your mother in particular, but your whole family. And when I say you, I pretty much mean anybody can relate to this, and following your own dreams, but also being there for your family. I know that takes a lot of courage, and it takes a lot of balance, and it takes a lot of mental help knowing that you're doing the right thing. So I think it's about that. It's also about your friendships and how you go through things and you stick together. And it's also about just your passion and following your dreams. And it's also about regret and not regretting. I love the original music, fun footage at the end with the credits that you didn't maybe put into the actual documentary, but I love that you stuck some more great stuff in at the end.
In his quest to make life interesting, life became interesting, and along the way, family and things happen, and so very sad, and so very sorry about the loss of your mother. That was really hard. The fact that you kept going through the whole thing and accomplished what was accomplished here is, and turned out to be pretty amazing. And you know, and just to look at this fella from the start to the end, it's like by the end he'd grown up so much, you know, just like physically and just like in mindset and everything. It was pretty amazing and interesting to see. So, you know, my initial skepticism was proven very wrong, and I'm glad it was. Um, so yeah, excellent work on this. I don't know how you know, sorted through all that footage. It's a lot of work, a lot of commitment. So, but yeah, excellent job all around. You know, this is you know, primarily the work of the auteur here, and he did a great job.
One of my favorite things about documentaries is the fact that you're basically trying to make a story out of life. And this documentary, to its bare essentials, was the question of how do I make a story out of my life? There are many points in this documentary where I feel a lot of us have very relatable moments, especially in the beginning, right when you're in that transition from childhood to adulthood. There's this sense of aimlessness, this sense of trying to find meaning, trying to find a purpose, trying to get your dreams, all while essentially being in this rut. This film wasn't to find this goal or to achieve this title, but by the end of the film, the realization is that in reality, every moment should have been cherished. There was no end goal. The journey itself of life was the goal.
His filming is all college life, and he's just after years and years of struggling, and where he wanted to become a filmmaker but didn't know how to start, how to make the first film, and finally has this idea, and he just follows himself through the years through college. I think it was very well done. Excellent idea. I really enjoyed how the character arc changes from the start to finish, with all the troubles, all the problems that this young man goes through every day, until in the end finally manages to conclude the experience and deliver this movie that has been shot for more than 4 years in the making. Can you believe it? Absolutely brilliant. I think this is a great result.